What have we here? On September 20th, 1899, the first Central of Georgia locomotive with a work train arrived in Andalusia over these tracks, which extended to Cotton Street. Track laying was under the supervision of G.L. Burchell and C.B. Yancey, with J.N. White in charge of the track men. The Covington Times wrote, "The engine stopped within 50 yards of the courthouse and just sat there and blowed for several minutes. The train was pushed by engine number 1542 with H.H. Ward as engineer and W.E. Pye fireman. Service was discontinued on March 31st, 1983, with engineer A.M. Evans guiding the last train of empty cars out of the station. The depot building was completed soon after the turn of the century, and since opening to the public in 1987 serves as headquarters for the Covington Historical Society and its three-notch museum. The building, the oldest wooden commercial structure in use within the city, was placed on the National Register of Historic Places in 1985. Beware pickpockets and fancy women. Take heed. Now let's see if they'll let us film. Whoa.
Oh, it's free. So there's a place we can donate.
It's amazing.
Look at all the arrowheads.
I didn't even see that. Wow. A lot of Native American history all over these lands. How you doing?
All right, how are y'all?
Good. This place is amazing. And we've just walked in the door.
Are you just in the first room? Are y'all from Andalusia?
Now we're from Columbus, Georgia.
Oh, okay. You're busy?
Yeah, we did a getaway for a day at an op and looking around because
We wanted to go somewhere this weekend. We didn't want to go anywhere crowded, so we thought it would be fun to spend the night in Op and see the town around here. It's been really fun.
Well, good.
We passed through there a couple of years ago on our way back from Mobile, I think, and like, man, this is cool. So we came back here.
Yeah, we need a little place.
I love this.
Well, this is the only wood structure left in Andalusia. This was built in 1899, the train came, and they built the building the next year. And there used to be wood structures all around town, but they tore them all down in the 20s and built the brick buildings.
Oh.
So this is the only one that didn't get tore down. And,
Wow.
and then when they built that one down there, they built the front of it to brick where the back is. And the city owns it now, and so they're gonna make a venue place. You can rent it to get married in it.
Oh, neat.
Cool. Very
And,
nice.
There used to be buildings all along here, but they tore them all down. The city owns all this now. They're gonna put a park out there.
Oh.
So if y'all like to make little trips, you should come back in December.
Oh,
We
okay.
have Candyland here, and it's great. And if you got your little children, bring them with you because
Fun.
they decorate the town, and we probably have 50 little playhouses that they put all around.
Oh, that is cool.
We have an ice skating rink, and it's the only place in the United States that we can program in snow for 2 o'clock on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh,
Wow.
So nobody else can time snow like that.
Wow. So you're guaranteed a white Christmas.
Yeah.
So is it the whole month of December? Or?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's good
It's
to know.
open on the weekends, and we're open on the weekends then. It's just,
Oh, that
Right.
sounds fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really
Good
fun.
to
you can
know.
go in and out of the playhouses and see. And the playhouses are kind of replicas of the businesses that used to be here.
Oh, that's really,
Nice.
And the
really
businesses built the little playhouses and then gave them to the city.
That's cool.
Yeah, that sounds.
And this is pictures of the museum. And this is what it looked like when we got it, the white
Ooh.
building there. And now, and we dug down through the paint to find out what color it was before.
Yeah.
And they said it was red, so we painted it red.
Oh, wow.
It's always fascinating to see a building before and after.
Mm-hmm.
And this desk, is this any particular person's desk or is this just a...
This desk was in the building when they closed it and they sold it. But when we opened it as a museum, the people that bought it gave it back to us to have in the
Oh,
museum.
nice.
That's amazing.
And this is some of the men that worked in the building. And this is a picture of the building. And then the buildings that used to be across the road.
Oh, yeah, that's that big open field over there. Wow. Amazing.
Well, I know, I was always loved things like this, but when I went to work down here, I'm like, I love this.
Yeah.
And Damien's a young man, so I mean he's getting to be all about history too. See, we have to get these young people involved.
Yeah.
Recently really taken off with it, and I love it.
History is amazing. When you realize what was here before you were here, it's like, and frequently it's very, very different from what's here now.
Yeah, well, look at this picture here. See how big that tree is? Can you see those men standing beside it?
Yeah.
Just look at the size. But this was before when they first got here and was cutting timber off of it. So it's
Wow.
huge.
Yes, Columbus.
Wow. So neat. I love railroad stuff. I'm not real educated on railroad stuff, but I love railroad stuff.
It's just sort of funny in Alabama, so we thought we'd stop it off. It's been really good.
Actually, my dad and his side of the family's from Preston. Own some land there.
Oh.
Not too far from y'all. What, about an hour drive? About 50 miles?
Yeah, kind of close to Plains.
And
Yes,
my
it's 9 miles from Plains.
and my family is from Plains Americas area.
Really?
Yeah, so Preston is like kind of in the
Yep.
similar area.
Between
Richland. Yeah.
I was in here stopped just to look again and talk to Miss Linda, and I'm into bottles. When I go bottle digging, I'm gone all day.
Oh yeah, all day.
I got
Yeah.
an 11-year-old son. He's like, I'm never going back to you again.
My granddaughter moved over.
You're on your own, Dad.
If you do, I'll be safe.
Man, you have a really good museum.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm real proud of it. This is our military room, and General Cross here flew Air Force One for LBJ.
Ooh.
And he grew up in Covington County.
Oh, that's
Everything
cool.
here is from Covington County. And all the pictures of the militaries were from Covington County. So
Wow, that's a lot of folks.
that's all of our mayors. This is all of our probate judges. And the bottom two were arrested by the Yankees
Ooh.
when they came to town. And they were carried down to New Orleans, and then they turned them loose. They had to walk back.
Walk back.
But you know, they used to say that here was big lumber.
Yeah.
And they would make rafts, the farmers would, they grew cotton or wheat or whatever, and they were selling it in Pensacola, and they would make a raft and float it down to Pensacola, and then they would sell their products off their rafts, and then they would sell the wood from the rafts, and then they'd walk back home.
Wow. Yeah, it wasn't uncommon. Like after the war, like people who had marched forever to fight, you know, a lot of people ended up walking home, like across states.
Yeah. But this is all the young men that lived in Coney County that died serving the country.
Wow.
The guy in the Navy suit up there, he flew for the Flying Tigers.
Oh,
And
flying
was killed in
tigers.
China.
Man, we owe a lot to these guys.
We do. And then this is just guys that served.
I gotcha.
This is my cousin. He served 27 years.
Wow. Yeah.
That's all my Navy crew. I got all the wars covered from 1776 to the War of 1812 to the war between the states and then World War One. And I don't know if you're much on history, but Robert E. Lee, you know, he went to what was that military thing he went to?
Fort Monroe?
No, the school.
Oh,
Virginia.
West Point?
West Point. He went to West Point for 4 years. Never got a demerit for anything. Always turned his work in on time. Always dressed appropriately. Jefferson Davis got 2 or 3 a day.
Wow.
I read a book about him when we were quarantined. You know, we stuck at the house, and he didn't dress properly. Didn't get his work done. I mean, he just. And it was funny that both of them's father died when they were young, and their older brothers got them into West Point.
Interesting.
And you see the guy hanging on the door there?
Yep.
Do you know if he's a Yankee or a Southern fella? Can you tell?
I would imagine that he is Yankee because he's got U.S. on his back.
But the guy that found that at the yard sale and brought it to me was so excited. I didn't tell him. Bless his heart. He bought it just for me. I just thanked him.
Yeah.
Let him go. And these are all guys that served in the war between the state, and they're all from Coney County.
Nice.
So, like I said, I don't put anybody that wasn't here or from this county. And this guy up here, he came from the archives in Montgomery.
Ooh.
His great-great-granddaughter gave the picture to the archives in Montgomery, and they absolutely didn't have room for it. So they called me to see if I had room. And I said, why, sure. So they contacted the family to see if they could send it here because he is from here.
Right.
And he's buried at Red Level.
Wow.
Guy with a funny little haircut there, he's who the
Oh, him.
county is named after.
Oh, okay.
And,
Covington.
and then the guy next to him, he's also buried at Red Level, and he fought in the War of 1812, which all 3 of those did. Andrew Jackson fought in the War of 1812, and General Covington died fighting in the War of 1812.
Wow.
And he never came through Andalusia or anything, so. And this is real Confederate money that a gentleman gave me.
And just the building itself is so historic.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, back in the day, this was the black waiting room back here. They came
Oh.
in here, and they had to stay here until they could come out and get on the train. It's history.
It is history. And history is not always warm, fuzzy, and cozy. In fact, most of the time it's not. So neat. What's back here?
More of the stuff.
Ooh, fun.
Now I'm gonna tell my granddaughter that somebody else read one of the books down here. She says, Nanny, you're the only one that ever reads these old books. I said, I even made a little book nook over there so you could, but nobody ever comes and reads the books. And this is my Black history. And I never figured out where the Berry community was,
Oh,
or the Berry settlement.
where was it? Did you ever find it?
Yeah, it's where our high school is now.
Oh.
It was, where the high school is was a farm at the time, and the Berry community was around it. But I kept asking, where was it, where was it? And I forget who told me finally where it was, but. This is all Grandma's old stuff. You go this way and you see Grandma's old stuff, and you go this way and you see Grandpa's old stuff.
Oh, fun. Oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
I like nice collection of hats there.
Yeah, got a couple more the other day, but I really don't know what to do with them.
Fedoras. As you can see, I'm a fedora guy. It's like, it would be nice to like live in the sun. You'd have to come here like all the time because there's so much information in here. It's like,
I've been a member of the Historical Society for 30 years.
yeah.
I've been working here for 6, and when they first asked me if I wanted, well, they didn't ask me if I wanted to work, they asked me if I knew somebody that wanted to work down here.
Yeah.
And I said, me? You pay me to work down here? I've been volunteering for years. Because I would take off from my job and come down when they'd have a tour or something. And I thought I knew everything. I didn't know nothing. And I saw a lot of things and I find things, and when I show them to people, they say, where'd you find that? I said, it's the museum.
A museum like this is a fantastic thing to have, and we have, like in Columbus, we have the Columbus Museum, which is it's a museum of Columbus that was turned into more of an art museum. We have the Civil War Naval Museum, and but like we don't really have stuff like this.
When I'm in town, I drive by, and one day I drove by and I stopped right there. My granddaughter said, what is it, Nana? I said, somebody left me something on the porch, on the steps there. So I came back and I just sat it inside the building because sometimes they just drop it off down here.
Wow.
Sometimes I leave it on the back ramp where it's covered if it's something they don't want to get.
Oh right, yeah.
And then they'll call me on Monday and say, hey lady, did you find that stuff out there?
The grandpa's side over here.
Yeah, all the old tools.
Oh, so cool. Love the old gas station. Sometimes you still see remnants of some of these stations beside the road.
I thought I knew where that one was, and I took the picture and went down there, wasn't it?
Oh,
But they all kind of look the same.
right.
You can tell they're a little different.
Who's this? That grandpa?
It was the guy that worked at the first car dealership here.
Oh, fun. I love the old photographs.
He worked in the garage, and then he opened a tire store. Firestone
Wow.
tire store. But the people that opened the first car dealership here, Ford dealership, still have it.
Wow.
It's still in the family. So,
That's great.
and you know what this is, don't you? They're service stations. You know the difference between a service station and a gas station?
They would change your, check your air pressure in your tires, check your oil,
Wash your window,
wash
check
your
water.
windows. You know,
My dad had a gas station, like a service station. It was a Texaco, but I pumped a lot of gas, washed a lot of windows because I was a tall girl and I could. Mother was short. She couldn't get the middle, so I did.
those were just dying out when I was coming along. Those the full service stations. I even know what this is.
This, I don't know what the little doodads are for,
Yeah.
but it was probably, it's just a little token. Doesn't have anything on it.
Well, there's some kind of point. Got some kind of writing on it. Etching. Red. 01A.
The phone number was 621.
Armstrong Tires and Tubes, Andalusia Tire
Yeah.
Company.
This place is still in business too.
Look at this bicycle. Wow, I've seen them only in pictures.
Have you seen the pickers? The short guy and the tall guy that does the picking?
Uh-uh.
The tall guy can ride one of these. He was on there one night and he got up on one, but the short guy said he didn't have enough legs to run along and get up on that thing.
Wow, this thing is like, that's amazing. That's so cool.
And they tell me that the guy that owned this used to ride it in the parades when they would have the Christmas parade or whatever.
That is cool.
And I guess the only way to get off is just get off.
Yeah. Go over into your little place. I love the old gas pumps. I've seen a lot of old buildings where these used to be.
Yeah, I seen one of these at a gas station not too long back, and I can't remember where I was at now because I have a tendency to wander. And I was thinking, like that, put it in front of my little country store out there. Somebody probably hit it. Although I was told there was no pumps, but they could change your tire and repair your tire because they had a little lean-to on the side to repair tires, but they didn't have gas.
Huh.
So I guess it was just really a little country store.
Logging train. Oh, look at this
See the-
picture.
Fire bucket here. You know why the fire buckets were made with a round bottom?
I don't.
So the farmers wouldn't take them and use them on their farm. Because you couldn't sit it down.
Wow.
It was no good. Bucket that won't sit down. Can't use it for anything but dipping water to put out a fire.
Wow. That makes sense. And I've seen many of these. I've seen these on many a Bugs Bunny cartoon. That's so neat. Honestly, some of the stuff I've never even seen in any museums.
Do you know what a gambling stick is?
I don't.
It's that wood stick there. When you would kill hogs, you would put that between their and hang them up.
Oh.
Doesn't make sense to call it a gambling stick. When I first went to work here, I mean, it's got names, but I would take pictures of it and take them to church to the old farmers,
Yeah.
and they tell me what they used them for.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, when I was visiting one the other day, he said, "You hadn't brought me any interesting pictures lately." I guess I got it all figured out after 6 years. I just walk away.
Nice bottle collection.
We had several bottling companies here. We had Coke, we had Cherry Coke, and we had RC Cola here, and so we got plenty of bottles. That's what the young man that was just leaving, he digs for bottles.
Yeah. Has he donated any of these, or is it completely
No, but
different?
he said if he finds anything extra. My granddaughter found this one a few months ago, but she said she'd never seen one that tall, and they did make them a long time ago. She's 16, so there's lots of things she hasn't seen.
I like the melted one here. That's cool.
And this was a It Cola, and I'd never heard of an It Cola until I saw it here.
I don't think I've ever heard of It Cola. Interesting. Huh. 1910 soda fountain setup.
It was in a bar, and the bar sold barbecue.
Huh.
And they said that the Baptists and the Methodists would call in their order and drive around behind it and honk the horn, and they would bring the barbecue out, so they wouldn't have to go in the bar.
Right.
And my husband and I ran into that situation when we were going to Texas. My sister was in Texas, and we were going out there, but we didn't go the interstate. We went the back roads,
Yeah.
and we couldn't find anywhere to eat. And I was starving.
Yeah.
I was wasting away.
Mm.
And we went by this bar and grill. I'm like, it said grill. We can get food there. My husband's like, can you go in a bar? I said, yes, we can. I said, nobody from Red Level is going to drop by and see our truck. Go back. I'm starving. It was the nicest restaurant on one side and the bar was in the back. And it was full. It was a Friday night and there was plenty of cars out front. My husband said, you've got 4 drunks. I said, we go in, we order our burger, and we come out. So
I'll tell you one thing, I'm a musician, and as a musician, I spend a lot of time from time to time in bars. And I'll tell you, bars with a grill have the best food.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
them and truck stops.
Them and truck stops. So this right here looks like it would be a pain to operate.
Yeah, but you know what? It was probably very high tech
Oh yeah.
when it was, but now you go over there and you punch it in on your computer and
It's got so many parts. Like that is so neat. And is this from?
from here,
yeah.
from the newspaper here.
Wow.
How you like that wheelchair?
Yes, I was just noticing that it's it looks like you motivate it along with your arms like a bicycle.
Mm-hmm.
I actually knew a guy in my hometown. It wasn't a wheelchair. He would go biking. But he had this bicycle because he was paralyzed from the waist down, and his arms were just unbelievably huge. But he would, like a similar mechanism to this.
Yeah.
Whose
I've
was
seen those on TV.
whose was this?
I don't remember.
I got you. It's a neat. I've never seen one.
I think I'd rather do this
Yeah.
than this.
Yeah.
What I really want, and I told my grandchildren, if I get in a wheelchair, I want you to push me everywhere I want to go.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of bicycles like this before.
Yeah.
Wow.
These dolls are not very old. They're from my granddaughter's collection.
Ah.
And my great-grandson just thinks it's terrible that I leave him down here by himself all the time.
Nice old camera. Nice lens. If we were still using cameras like this, I would not be anywhere near that line of work.
Yeah.
Look at that tripod. Well, I really appreciate. Oh, I love the doors.
Yeah, watch the blade
Oh,
on that
yeah.
sling, because I'm waiting on the guys to come by and help me hang it from the ceiling.
That's cool.
Yeah, those doors work.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, a lot of times they.
Yeah, the others we have shut, but that one I still use it to go in and out. Sometimes people will leave me stuff out there so I can. Like somebody left me that desk and that's as far as I could drag it.
Oh.
That's where it is.
Look at these handles. Like, even the handles are made out of wood. That's so neat.
And they're always pulled as far open as they can possibly be on Monday mornings. Because somebody's tried to keep in.
Oh.
And I keep telling them, just come and visit the museum. That's like when some guys brought me this pulpit from an old church they were tearing down out in the country.
Oh.
They just couldn't leave it in there. They said it's made so good, and you could tell it's a homemade one. And that was just the only place I knew to put it, behind that desk.
And this is the church it came out of?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
The guy tears down a lot of stuff, and he brings me quite a bit of stuff.
Well, that's good because they're gonna tear it down, and it's good that some of it, at least some part of it, gets saved.
Mark said, he said, Miss Linda, I don't know, but do something with it. And I said, okay. So him and the 2 guys, took 3 guys to tote it in here. So.
We're in Andalusia, Alabama. It's really fun.
What's your favorite thing?
I guess just driving around looking at stuff and reading the historical markers.
There's a lot of history here. Just look at that.
Yeah, the train caboose is interesting. There's another train car back there.
Yeah, and this cabin out back, it's locked. You can't get in, but I can peek through that little hole over there. Ooh, everybody. Look at this. This is a neat cabin, though.
Oh, look, there's railroad tracks, right?
Yeah. Look at this. The railroad tracks just disappear into the grass.
I bet this is snaky.
Which is no doubt how they moved that boxcar in. This is neat. Look at this boxcar. I love these railroad tracks.
Yeah, I wish you could just stop and feel like how it is the South and it is summertime. Like, it's just that slow, heavy air.
Slow, heavy air.
You just want to lay on a blanket and look at the sky.
Imagine somebody warmed up a quilt and draped it over you. That's what the air
That's
is
what
like.
the air is like.
And it's only spring.
It's the last day of May.
This is my kind of weather, y'all. I flourish in this weather. But check this out. I love this. Before we peek inside, look at this buckboard. You see them along the roads, but you don't always get to get this close. Isn't that awesome? So neat. Look at the construction. That's amazing. Where's Stacey?
It's weirdly quiet because, you know, you're in a city, but you feel like you're at your grandmama's house.
Yeah. It's true. It's really quiet. So what was the book you were reading in there?
I was reading a 4th grade reader from 1925. And there's little stories, like there's a family, they go to the county fair and they see an airplane, a real airplane.
Wow.
And an etiquette book from 1947, The New American Etiquette. And it was kind of modern. It was like, if you're in an office building, you don't have to take your hat off in the elevator. Like,
Oh.
if a woman joins your table at a restaurant, you can offer to pay, but if she says no, don't insist. Like, you don't have to pay if somebody just sits at your table. Stuff like that was kind of modern and interesting.
That is interesting. Very interesting. Hope you've enjoyed this down the road in Andalusia, Alabama.
Definitely come if you get a chance.
It's really good, and as you know, the lady inside is really helpful, very informative, and it's definitely worth your time, and it's free. You can make donations.
Did we make a donation?
I don't know. I think I might go back in there and make a donation. But while I'm doing that, then anyway, we'll close out, and hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll see you down the road.